How's it, my friends? I hope you are well. My name is Witness Mdaka. I am a businessman, property investor, as well as the author of this book. It's more than just money, a guide to escaping the red race and building generational wealth. Now, I'm speaking to you from our offices in Johannesburg, South Africa. And I want to have a conversation with you. But before we do that, can you click on, press on, click on the subscribe button, click on the notifications button, comment and let me know where you're watching from, what your thoughts are, and whether or not you agree with what I'm saying. Now, I want to talk to you today about the cornerstones of wealth creation. We're all in pursuit of something, and most importantly, all of us are in pursuit of better careers, better financial positions, and basically being able to build our lives financially. Now, to be able to do that, we have to have an understanding of what it takes to do that, right? So, same as when you are building a certain building, there's a certain way in which you build the building. You have to have a certain kind of foundation depending on the kind of building that you want to build. So, if you want to have a single story, there's a certain way you're going to do the foundation. You're not going to do it the same way as somebody who's doing a 3-story building. So if you're doing a 3-story building, you're going to go deep in terms of the foundation that you're doing and in terms of the reinforcement that you put into your foundation. In the work that we do, we build buildings, and we've seen that with certain buildings, depending on where it is, you have to go deep when you're doing the foundation. Now, let's get right into it, because I know that you've already done your part in terms of subscribing and clicking on the notifications button. So let's get right into it. What are the cornerstones of wealth creation? The first one is business. Cornerstones of wealth creation are business, property, shares. The first one is business. Why? For you to make money, you either work in a business or you have a business. So those who work in a business, they're either employees or consultants, whatever it is that they do in that particular business. They are working in that business and they're earning an income from that business, be it a salary or a stipend, whatever it is. So for them to be able to start making money and build wealth, they have to be earning a salary or a stipend because they work in that business. Or you own a business. So you're a business owner, you're an entrepreneur, and you're earning a salary or you're earning an income from your business. So this tells me that for you to be able to build, you cannot do it if you do not have an income, right? And different people earn incomes in different ways, including those who work in government departments, who will say business is a cornerstone for them too, because governments tax businesses. And when they tax businesses, they then receive what we call revenue, and they use that revenue to pay salaries of their staff. And the government also provides certain services through government-owned entities, and they charge for those services or for those products that they give out to the public. And then the second one is property. That would be your second cornerstone of wealth creation. We said it's business, property, shares. The second one is property. These have been tested for centuries. So if you build a property portfolio or you buy a property to rent out, you'll be able to get an income. The property then builds wealth for you in 2 ways. Number one, you get cash flow from the property. Number two, the property grows in value, which means you get what we call capital gains in that property. If you sell that property, then you will be charged what we call capital gains tax, right? So property is one of the key cornerstones of wealth creation. They've been tested over years, over centuries, over decades, right? So you have to have that understanding if you're in the pursuit of building wealth for yourself, right? You think of it even the days before Christ was born, or even when the day was born. The Bible that we read says his parents went to an inn, and at that inn, when they got there, it was full, and he was eventually born in a manger, right? Which tells me that the property owner that day was making a lot of money. So property, even in the form of farms, commercial buildings that maybe house bakeries and industrial properties in them, are those that are making money for people commercially. So it's different kinds of properties that you can make money from residential, commercial buildings, farms, shopping centers, as well as those that are then housing people that are working in offices. So it's important for you to understand that for you to make and build wealth for yourself, you have to have property as part of your strategy for wealth creation, and also part of your foundation and part of your cornerstones, one of the cornerstones of wealth creation. The last one is buying shares or investing in stocks. That forms part of your wealth creation strategy and part of the cornerstones of wealth creation as well. So if you want to be somebody who is wealthy, you have to have a stock portfolio, right? A shares portfolio. If you look at one of the wealthiest people on earth, whose name is Warren Buffett, he built his wealth through buying shares, through building a share portfolio. Even Elon Musk, he built a business but has shares in those businesses that he built. Some of the businesses that he owns are not businesses that he started. It's businesses that he invested in and bought shares in those businesses. Now, for you now, you might not be Warren Buffett, you might not be Elon Musk, but you can be able to buy shares on the stock exchange. It is allowed for you to do so. And it has been a cornerstone of wealth creation because throughout centuries, throughout decades, people have always been able to invest in other people's businesses, either through buying a certain portion of their business or investing in certain shares in the form of buying or giving them money to do projects. You know, you think of the days when kings would summon swordsmiths or people who were making swords. They would say to them, I want X amount of swords to be made. And if that person doesn't have the resources to make those swords or those spears, they would go to somebody who had the resources to invest in what they wanted to do, right? Meaning give them the gold that they require so that they can be able to buy the resources that's required for them to make what they need to make, right? So which means that person that is giving them the money had a portion of shares within that particular business. Now it happens now today, companies are putting out projects and people are investing in those shares. And those that are able to make money from it are able to build wealth in that way. So, but first, you either work in a business or you build a business that you own. You have a property investment portfolio and you have a share portfolio. You can do these one at a time or you can do them simultaneously, depending on what your skills are and what your ability to manage what you have is. So you'll be buying into businesses, or you'll be starting businesses and retaining the shares in those businesses, or you'll be working in a business, getting an income, using it to buy shares, using it to build a property investment portfolio. Now, the interesting thing before I close about property is that even banks will lend you money to buy a property, but they won't lend you money to buy shares, their own shares, right? So property is one of the places to start where you wanna, if you want to borrow millions or thousands of rands or dollars for you to start investing. Banks are always willing to lend you that kind of money for as long as you can demonstrate that you have a salary or an income. So my friends, it was great having this conversation with you. Remember to subscribe, remember to comment and let me know what your thoughts are. Remember, it's more than just money. Have a lovely, lovely day. Ciao, ciao.